Welcome back to Body Harvest.
Woo!
Right where we left off.
Woo! Spring break! Harvest time! Yeah! So we're still in Java. Took down the processor. Remember, we got a shotgun, we went on a tram car, we went on a car ride, and it was really neat.
And it's party time with more harvesters.
Woo! Harvest time! Party time! Yeah!
Yeah, it's a regular farm out here.
It's like a farm where they just grow humans, and then
Exactly.
they just have them... I lost where I was going with that sentence. It's gone.
Reminds me of Motel Hell, where they buried humans up to their neck and then...
Minefield. Oh, hello, you found a mine.
Yeah, minefield here is very dangerous. Basically, all those little brown pockmarks there have mines in them somewhere.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, those mines are eating your lunch.
Yeah, there's a million mines. You can be blasted from one mine into another one. And that process can repeat for about 3 or 4 mines until your death.
Oh, goodness. You can play, what's the word for it?
Pachinko?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. The one where you just keep hopping on the ball just pops down all the pegs, and let's find out where it lands. Or in the world of Shenmue, lucky hit.
Also, the new genre that Silent Hill has mastered.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I turned out to have been mistaken in the previous video.
Are you gonna get it?
I got it.
Oh, just like that.
Turns out Adam is the same as any other human.
Like, what, could you not get out of the goo, or...?
I very easily could have gotten out of the goo. I just wanted to demonstrate that because forums user Siren was kind enough to point that out to me.
Wow, I didn't expect that. Okay.
Me neither. But we're not as special as we thought. I'm shocked.
Man, that's... Huh. Yeah, no, because I'm like, oh, and you see the harvester sucking up all the green goop like he's going through the crazy straw, and then Adam's like, oh, I'm just gonna bounce along, and whoop! That was unexpected.
Yeah, if you touch the goo, you go for a ride, and if the ride ends at the harvester's mouth, you're dead. It is pretty easy to shake out of it, but
yeah, what do you got? Just gotta wiggle the stick or something.
Yeah, exactly. Usually it only takes a second or two. But it's also a damage over time effect. It leaves you vulnerable to other enemy attacks. It can be a pretty serious problem.
Yeah, you can see that.
And on very rare occasions, it gets you eaten. Yeah, Minefield's actually kind of fun. If it weren't for the fact that it did a quarter of your health every time.
Yeah, no, if it did less damage, then I could just see, going along having a good time. Woo! Gonna jump along now, yeah! But...
yeah, why not?
That's just not how it works.
This section is a lot easier if you do not save and then reload your game after completing the last stage, because then you still have the motorboat.
Oh yeah, then you actually have a vehicle to get around with.
Yeah, I think it does still explode in the minefield, but it gets past the minefield so quickly that it only hits like 1 or 2 mines and then you're free.
Well, I mean, does the speed matter? Because, I mean, imagine if you're going fast enough, maybe you don't have to stop.
You get hit and then you are propelled very far forward.
Oh, just
pretty
like
much over the minefield.
Just like the way Adam just bounces up in the air.
Yeah, but Adam can be bounced backwards by some of the mines because he has so little forward momentum.
What?
Yeah.
See, that almost seems like it might be intentional, because if he winds up bouncing backwards, and that's obviously a sign that, hey, you're not supposed to go in the minefield this way, you're supposed to find a way around.
Yeah, but the hill on the side that you can go over is a little too steep and you usually slide into the mines if you take that route. There's no good way to do it on foot, at least. It's a little easier with a vehicle, and the motorboat is the only available vehicle at this point.
It's starting to sound like maybe this game was badly designed.
There are a lot of arguments in favor of that.
What? No, this paragon of open-world gameplay pioneered by DMA Games, our future overlords Rockstar. I can't believe that you would think that oh hey, another harvester's already here. Jeez, is it...
Welcome to Java.
Wow, that's pretty rude.
Yeah, it's almost non-stop here.
Wow.
And it only gets worse.
So now, is that time-based here, or is that just this particular mission? It's just, oh, hey, there's a bunch of harvesters. Good luck.
This particular stage happens to have 2 harvester waves back to back. As soon as you finish the first harvester wave, there's a couple of second countdown before the next one starts.
Yeah, that's pretty rude.
Yeah. That building there is the first place you're likely to get the machine gun. I got it in the last stage just because I happen to have foreknowledge of where it was.
Yeah, because I remember you had the machine gun from what's it called, Greece, but
Yeah.
I thought that was a period specific thing.
Yeah. It's easier to get in Greece. It's in a very weird side building that you have no reason to go into in the first stage of Java. And then in that building that we just got it from the second time, it's very easy to have that building explode in the first harvester wave.
Oh yeah, and if the building explodes, then you can't possibly go inside. That's not how this works.
Nay.
I mean, you can't just go inside exploded buildings. If I've learned nothing else from video games, it's that.
Truly.
You know, most video games will have a certain level of, structural integrity to the point of, being able to have a critical existence failure. But, until they hit that last hit point, most of the buildings are still 100% effective.
Yeah, that's moderately the case in Body Harvest here. As soon as a building becomes damaged visibly, you can't go in anymore.
Well, of course not. It's not that you can't go in it. It's more a case of who would want to. You don't want to step foot in a nasty home.
Adam's refined sensibilities are far too pure to waste his time in such buildings.
Adam's too used to the future, where you don't have to worry so much about dirt. You have peasants to take care of that.
Exactly.
And really, that's why they're going through this whole process of body harvest, is because, he's just not willing to, give up on his quality of life for all the space peasantry.
Yeah, you can even see in his door opening animation that he's way out of practice.
Yeah, I mean, for the cars, he just jumps on the top. He doesn't even bother opening the door. He's like, whoop!
Yep, flips right through him somehow.
Yeah, well, it looks like this one's a soft-top convertible, so you can probably just, punch a hole in the top and be good.
Yeah.
But that's probably what's happening with the bugs, is they've eaten all the space peasants. And, Adam is a member of the space nobility. That's not okay. Space noblesse oblige. He has certain responsibilities as part of the space nobility.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can tell.
They've also eaten everybody.
Yeah. Well, they started with the space peasants, and Adam did not speak up because he was not a space peasant. Then they came for the space animals, and Adam did not speak up because he was not a space animal. Then they came for Adam, and nobody spoke up because nobody was left.
Dun dun dun. Never more appropriate than here.
Well, I guess there was the lady that drives there's the lady that drives the hovercraft when you're not there.
Yeah, old Daisy.
Yeah. Daisy is probably part of the space nobility, if I was to make a guess.
Likely.
And then there's Black Adam. Is he space nobility?
Hard to say. Oh, here's an actually clever puzzle.
Oh yeah, he just points towards the wall and then you have to look for it.
Yeah, in-game it's not clever at all, but it actually tripped me out for a couple of minutes the first time I played this level.
Yeah, no, I noticed Adam was doing a little bit of a two-step there.
That's all you can do when you're inside buildings, is strafe left and strafe right very, very slowly. So, for some reason, I decided to show that off.
So like, when he's strafing, is that more like he's politely trying to sneak around in one direction?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because normally I keep confusing this game and the aiming mechanics with Jet Force. Ooh, hello, that's a nice ramp.
Yeah,
with Jet Force Gemini, because I remember in Jet Force Gemini, and when you were aiming down the sights, you could use the C buttons to go in different directions. Mm-hmm. But this one has a more standard. You're standing there and control stick aims, and then if you press I think it's C right or C left, it'll actually do like a dodge roll.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah. Ooh, offers over 1,000 rupiah. That's pretty steep.
Is it? I don't know conversion rates.
That's okay, I'm making it up. You're not supposed to admit you don't know it, you're just supposed to roll with it.
My bad. Normally I wouldn't.
I mean, there's only so many things you can do with fictional currencies like those of India.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought they did their research. They did last level.
No, yeah, I'm not sure if Indonesian rupees are the same as Indian rupees.
I would not be surprised if they were inaccurate, but at least they tried.
Yeah, at least At least they said, you know, obviously it's not the same. It's not US dollars, let's be fair. It'd be a little weird if you went to Greece or Java and it said, "Hey, this house is for sale for only $50." Then we'd sit here and talk about, man, remember back during World War II years when everything was cheap? You could go down to the corner store and get a loaf of bread for a nickel.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
I imagine inflation in Adam's time is pretty ridiculous because it's 2016.
You can go down to the corner store and get a loaf of bread for a C note. For a space C note. You know, because they're in space.
Ah, yes. We sort of indirectly met Colonel Mertz there. He's going to be a very important character throughout this stage. And the entire level, in fact.
Does he give you high explosives?
He's got an interesting story to him.
Oh, does he tell you the story?
No such luck. We're going to hear that story before we ever meet him.
Aww. Artillery Battery Bravo. So I noticed it looked like somebody else was driving that truck. You didn't have to drive it. They've got other...
Yep.
This game has NPCs that do things, rather than just stand around or get eaten.
Yeah, theoretically. That person will never leave that vehicle. We can explode it and he wouldn't run out to safety.
Well, you can't program... Look, you can't program that sort of thing in. Let's not get crazy. Be real careful here. Oh, do you have to hijack his truck, or...
Well, it turns out the vehicle is part of a very stupid puzzle. And I've just sort of messed it up a little bit. Luckily, our vehicle is much faster than that military vehicle, because we needed to sneak in. Sneaking, and we stopped.
That truck went around quick.
Yeah, the truck actually got thrown off course by the spawning in of the aliens.
Did you run over another man?
I did run over another man.
You animal.
But right now, the truck is stuck to the gate. It cannot move ever again.
Huh. Hope you don't need to go back through it.
Well, the gate, luckily, is now stuck open because it's so close to the vehicle that its sensors have been thrown off.
Then I just got all these bugs spawning in everywhere. What's up with this?
Yeah, that's just sort of a problem we gotta deal with. Luckily, we've got an AK.
Ooh. Sounds like something one of the drones from Star Wars would say. One of the old battle droids.
Or one of the racist alien caricatures.
Yeah. I can just imagine Jar Jar Binks saying something like "ack."
Not hard to imagine at all.
I'm pretty sure he did say something like "ack."
He had a lot of catchphrases.
I read a news article recently about Jar Jar Binks. Like, it was just not necessarily about Jar Jar Binks, but it was going over, oh, hello, Colonel Mertz. This is the story you were telling us, right? Ooh.
He's a proactive gentleman.
Said to be very ill with the very...
And he's also mad with swamp fever.
With the dreaded swamp fever. Not to be confused with jungle fever, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Swamp fever. Yeah, it's one of those things I miss out on. You know, why they have to change the name of, I miss the old name for tuberculosis back when they called it the consumption. Yeah, which one are you going to be more threatened to have? Somebody's going to tell you, no, you've got tuberculosis. I mean, that doesn't really give you like a visceral sense of, oh crap. But if your doctor comes up to you and says, by the way, you have the consumption, it's a little more intimidating.
Yes, more diseases should be named by metal bands, you're saying.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I think it's, there was a band recently, the lead singer got maybe the lead guitarist got a flesh-eating bacteria.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was pretty metal.
Yeah, that's something you can work with.
But yeah, so Jar Jar Binks, like, when they were going through doing the filming for Phantom Menace, they actually thought Jar Jar Binks was going to be a hit. Like, they really thought, oh, that guy's face.
Yeah, he's got some stress issues that he's working out.
It looks like somebody slapped his facial features onto the other side of his face. Like, he should be looking directly at the camera, but somebody slapped him on the cheek so hard that, like, his mouth and nose just shifted over.
They normally reject you from the military for that sort of thing.
Yes, they do. I mean, shoot, if you can't have tattoos, on your hands, it's even worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really thought Jar Jar Binks was going to be a hit, and like the dude who voiced Jar Jar Binks is like, yeah, it was a little disappointing.
Well, he was going to retire on that.
I don't know if he was going to retire or not, but everyone's like, yeah, he was a real nice guy. It just really didn't happen the way we wanted it to.
Yeah, it didn't do much for his career, specifically.
Yeah, it sounds like that's never going to happen now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Jar Jar Binks will never appear again in the movies. How tragic. I'm sure if they could, somebody would go back with a knife and, just cut out the portions of Jar Jar Binks and Phantom Menace as it is.
Yep. They have done that, the Phantom Edit.
Maybe it becomes a more decent movie if you take out Jar Jar Binks. Or maybe, I don't know, is he integral to the plot?
Supposedly, yeah, if you cut out as much Jar Jar as you can, it becomes a better movie.
Hey, it's a tank.
A big tank, our biggest tank yet.
Ooh, Jagged Panther. That's a hunting panther. That's not just a tank, that's a tank killer.
And probably period inaccurate, if I know anything about this game.
The Jagged Panther... Well, I can't speak for the accuracy of how it looks, but that was a World War II, at least prototype for Germany.
Alright then.
Yeah, no, it was tank destroyers were a thing, and this definitely looks like a tank destroyer. I'm assuming the turret doesn't rotate, maybe just gives you a little bit of a side-to-side variance.
Nah, you can't move it at all.
So
it only fires directly forward.
Yeah, no. So it's at least accurate to being a tank destroyer. Most of those were pretty fixed forward.
Yeah. Cool. So they got something right.
Surprise.
You're also not supposed to be able to jump it over that gap.
Yeah, I noticed that was a pretty sick jump. I was worried that, as soon as the treads touched the water, it may have decided that you couldn't do anything anymore, but I'm glad to see this game's dedication to realism is sticking through.
Yeah. Even more impressive, a female character.
What?
Yeah. We read a little memo in the weird office that said that she had been killed by the military itself, but no, she's still alive even.
I mean, if she's not killed by the military, I'm assuming soon she'll be killed by the bugs. I mean, it's half of one, half the other.
Well, Daisy's not happy about it.
What, is she jelly?
Yep.
My goodness, she's so jelly she's jam. Jeez, Daisy, why don't you just, if you're so worried about it, why don't you come out here and do some field work?
Yeah, it's not exactly the best portrayal. Like, as soon as a female character shows up, suddenly the other female character's mad at you. Like,
yeah, as soon as probably the one female NPC that's not Daisy fighting the game, and she just exists to have Daisy be able to pop up and say, "Get your hands off my man!"
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it's one of these things again. Is that gonna be a running theme as the dude's hopping on power generators?
Certainly throughout Java.
Yeah, that's right, because it was in the last one too. Yeah, no, the bugs can't handle the frame rate. Ah! Yeah, because that's at least twice now they've done that little power generator issue. I think maybe 3 times.
There will be a third.
Ooh, is it also happening in Java?
Yes.
At least they're consistent.
Indeed. You can actually just fight your way through those bugs, but it's really difficult because there's 4 of the fastest firing bugs in the entire game.
Hey, it's more harvesters. Woo!
Yep, no big surprise there. That said, for some reason this stage, I've never failed it.
Really?
Yeah. Every time I've played straight through from the previous stage, and I had the hovercraft to get past the minefield, I've just powered straight through it. I've gotten stuck in a particular puzzle that we're going to get to, but only because it's a very stupid puzzle.
Is that good game design? What?
Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward, relatively easy, well, relatively fair. It's got a good level of challenge.
Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking, man, what about the, I'm wondering how it is that Rockstar went backwards in some of their game development, because, I mean, you can swim in this game, but you can't swim in Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah, you can't swim, you can't go indoors, you can't ride motorcycles. This game is a massive improvement over the first 2 3D Grand Theft Autos.
Even over Vice City, you think so?
Yeah, because Vice City is where they introduced motorcycles.
No, yeah, they did introduce motorcycles. I'm assuming, yeah, I think this game does have a motorcycle or two, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And we're going to get a much wider variety of airborne vehicles than we did in Vice City.
What did they have in Vice City? You had the helicopter, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, actually, you did have the Hunter helicopter in Vice City, which was pretty awesome, and maybe this game can't beat it, but it can come very close.
Well, no, they had the, you had the Dodo in Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah, the Dodo, which, because of 9/11, wasn't allowed to fly.
Was that the reason?
Supposedly, yeah, they had a working flying plane, and then they had to clip the wings so the people wouldn't fly it into buildings.
What?
Yeah, that is what I've heard many, many times.
That's insane.
Could just be a old wives' tale.
I can't believe that. That can't be a thing.
I don't know. A lot of things were censored immediately after 9/11.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's true. I don't know if it's a thing, but I do know you could still make the Dodo fly.
Yeah, you could.
Yep.
You had to be pretty talented, though.
I don't know if that's the word I would use to describe me, but I still made it fly. If I can do it, anybody can do it. No, that poor building. Don't shoot it.
Well, we've read a few times that it's blocked by landslide, and this sign right here is going to tell us the same thing a third time.
Tunnel of the Earth Spirits. Well, yeah, but you're trying to use a tank. You're not trying to use grenades. It specifically says, "Hey, use some grenades."
Yeah, that is our big mistake, and we did just pick up some grenades.
Coincidence.
Yep. If we follow the path that we're on all the way to the end, it takes us to the Great Elemental Temple, but we can't do anything there yet,
Ooh,
so I didn't bother.
Good arm.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to throw it in the eyes?
Yeah, that's what tripped me up for like 5 minutes the first time I played this level.
Yeah, I guess you gotta blow the rocks outwards.
Yeah, I guess.
It makes sense. Just roll with it.
Wasn't obvious to me at the time.
Then of course Adam puts his grenades back in his backpack. You can't see them, but you know they're totally there.
Well, now that you mention it, Adam has a 6-dimensional backpack.
6 dimensions? Is that like hammer space?
It literally has infinite inventory.
Oh, so he has a backpack of holding.
Precisely.
That makes sense.
That's why it can hold infinite grenades. It also manufactures the ammunition for his pistol, which is why the pistol also has infinite ammo.
See, now maybe the pistol generates its own ammo. Like it's all like an internal thing.
You would think that, but according to the manual, it's the backpack. It doesn't make much sense because the backpack is not attached to the pistol in any way.
Yeah, because then you gotta figure how's the ammo being fed.
Yeah.
I'm starting to detect some inconsistencies in this video game.
Yeah. Once you get too far down the sci-fi rabbit hole, things cease to make sense.
Only starting to detect these inconsistencies, mind you. It still sounds like everything's been pretty well thought out.
Yeah, it's mostly on the up and up. This is mostly scientifically sound.
Yeah, I mean they've got oh wow, it's processor.
Yep.
Huh.
Like I said, pretty straightforward.
That was surprisingly quick.
Yep.
I expected there to be more pageantry to get here.
Yeah. The main gimmick is just introducing you to the elemental temples for the first time, really.
Huh. I am really surprised that was it.
Yep.
It's just like, hey, you blew open the eyes. Awesome, go kill a processor. Good job, Tiger.
Yeah, it's weird that that's the climactic puzzle of the entire stage.
Huh.
Don't worry, they are going to make up for the simplicity of this stage in later stages.
Of course. Why wouldn't they? Well, I mean, they already made up for it in previous stages.
Yeah, and the next stage I never completed as a kid.
Ooh.
It wasn't until about 2 months ago that I completed it for the first time ever.
Oh my. I'm so excited now. We get to fulfill one of your childhood dreams.
Yep.
Beating this crappy game. No, I shouldn't say that. It's not a crappy game.
It is a game of its time, and for its time, very impressive.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things you don't appreciate when you play through it because you're too frustrated because, this game design, what is this?
And we're back on the iCheat file because I had a lot of recording troubles with this one.
Oh.
Next time we'll be back on the main file with 30% kills.
Woo!
See you then.
Spring break!